Hey everyone, welcome to this second video in which we are going to do data visualization using Python. So first of all, your system should have Python and Jupyter Notebook installed in your system. If you haven't installed these softwares, then please install this software first. There's a link in this video description that is about how to install Python and Jupyter Notebook in your system. Please check out that video. Then after installing these softwares, you are ready to go, you are ready to do the data visualization. So let's start. Now, we have to open command prompt. Inside the command prompt, we have to write a command which is Jupyter Notebook. Now you can see Jupyter Notebook opens in your PC. Now you can see that the files and folders of the system are visible inside the Jupyter Notebook. Now you have to create a workplace where you will create your Python file or where you have your resources. So a workplace is where all the files are stored, Python files and all your resource files. Now all you need is a data set on which you are going to work. So you can refer a website called kaggle.com. It's a very famous website for data sets. Kaggle.com is a website that has lots of data, or you can use your own data, right? Now from Kaggle website, you can download any dataset as your wish, but make sure the dataset you are going to download is a CSV file format dataset. I have already chosen a dataset from the Kaggle website, and my dataset on which I am going to work, on which this video is based for visualizing the dataset, is weather dataset. So my dataset is having different parameters. So let me first show you how my dataset is look like. So my dataset is having total 15 or 14, 15, 16 parameters, that is columns. So basically I'm going to work on this tables. You can see this table. So after all the requirements satisfied, we are ready to do visualization. Now we have to go to our workplace and create a file Python. First of all, we have to import library inside the Python files. So first we have to import some libraries. So the first library I will import, that is Pandas. So I'm importing the Pandas as PD. So PD is representing a library, that is Pandas. So the second line is import Seaborn as SNS. So SNS is representing Seaborn. Now Seaborn is SNS.set color code is equal to true. So why? The color code should be true for representing the data, so that the data should look attractive. The visualization of data should look attractive. So that is why color codes is equal to true. Now we are making a variable, that is weather, and it is taking the data set, that is test.csv. So weather is having our data set, and how this data set is going to be in weather, because of this read CSV function, which is the function of Panda library. Okay, now weather.head. So weather.head is using for checking the headings, that is column name of the data set. So we are we can see our data columns by this line. Now the next line is weather.info. So weather.info is using for checking all the data types and the data values, like column values and rows values of a particular column. So like we have data time is 199 column, that is not null, and it is an object column. So we have total 199 entries are there in date time, and same as for the other columns. Now the next thing is, now we can do our plotting. So how you can do our plotting? So we in Seaborn we have different types of functions. So the first function, which is univariate function, is bar plot. So by this line, SNS dot bar plot weather, humidity, weather, temperature. So weather humidity means weather is the data set which is having humidity as a column, comma weather is the data set again, and which is having temperature as a column. So we are we are plotting a bar graph using these two columns to check to do the data visualization on these two columns. So how you can do this? You can do by writing this line. So bar graph is a histogram graph. It shows the histograms, right. Now the next type of plotting is dist plot. So dist plot is having only one column. It is for continuously data representation. So in this dist plot you can see that there is only one column, that is humidity. So for single column distribution we can use the dist plot. Bivariate distribution. So in bivariate distribution we are having more than one columns. So more than one columns means we are visualizing the data using more than one column. So the function for bivariate is joint plot. So Seaborn is having joint plot. So by this line you can see weather is having humidity and weather is having temperature. So we are visualizing the data using these two columns or with this joint plot. Now the next is having this kind is equal to hex. So kind is equal to hex means the data it will be visualizing. Instead of these points, it will have these hexagon points, right? So after that, we are having SNS kind is equal to KDE. So KD is for kernel density estimate. So we have two kinds, like kind is equal to hex and kind is equal to KDE. Now we have pair plot. So pair plot is also but pair plot is using for visualizing pairwise relationship in a data set. So if we want to show pairwise relationship in a data set, so we can use pair plot. So pair plot is having three variables, three column name, that is humidity, temperature and air pollution. So it is showing you the three data accordingly. Now the next plotting type is plotting with categorical data. So using category according to category you can plot the data. So like in this we are for categorical data we have the strip plot in Seaborn. So in Seaborn we have a strip plot. So according to this strip plot we can give the column name, that is weather type, and another one is weather temperature. So it will show you the relationship between these two columns, so weather type and weather temperature. So this is how it's going to be work, and this is how the data is visualizing. Now you can see the rain, mist, drizzle, clouds, clear, haze according to the temperature, right? Now the next thing is you can give a jitter. So why this jitter is used? So in strip plot the scatter plot points will usually overlap. So this makes it difficult to see the full distribution of data. So one easy solution is to adjust the positions using some random jitter. So this is why the jitter is true. Now the next thing is box plot. We have box plot. So box plot is also in categorical data. So box plot is also having two columns, and the hue is equal to weather. So hue means hue is differentiating like x-axis is humidity and y-axis is temperature, and the according to this hue it will show you, or it will visualize the data. So this is how this box plot is working, and it is also in SNS. Now the next thing is bar plot. So it is very familiar, a familiar style of plot that complies this goal in bar plot. In C1, bar plot function operates on full data set and show an arbitrary estimate using the mean by default. Okay, so when there are multiple observation in each category, it also use bootstrapping to compute a confidence interval after the estimate and plots that using error bars. So like in bar plots we are having two columns, and another one is hue, so it is showing you the bar column, so it is a very familiar. Now the next is count plot. So count plot is just used for single column, so it counts the value of single column. So count plot is also very useful in data visualization. So I am using this count plot on weather type column. Now the next thing is point plot. So point plot is making a relationship between two, between more than one, I can say uh, more than one columns. So hue is equal to weather. So according to this weather type, it is showing you the relationship between humidity and temperature of the weather, right? Now the next and the second last is lm plot. So lm plot is for linear regression. Like it shows the lm plot is one of the most widely used function to quickly plot the linear relationship between two variables. So I am showing you the linear relationship between humidity and temperature, and data is weather. So data is weather, and the x-axis is humidity and y-axis is temperature. So lm plot is using for linear regression, so it is showing you the linear regression. Now and this is another type of lm plot. It is just having another parameter, that is weather type, that is equal to hue. The hue is, according to this hue, it is showing you the x-axis and y-axis. Okay, so guys, these were all the types that I have seen, that I have showed you for analyzing the data or data visualization. I hope you all liked this data visualization using Python. And if you have any problem in this video, then you can just tell me by giving a comment where you are facing the problem. Till then, I would like to say goodbye to you, and if you have not subscribed my channel yet, please subscribe and like it. And if you like this video, then please share this video in your circle with your friends. Till then, thank you so much guys. Bye.